And what I'm seeing from Amorim, and many people predicted this, in his first season, he would come out with things like, this is the worst Man United side ever. He'd be very, very honest. He came back second season and he started towing the party line. Exactly the same thing happened with Ten Hag. And Amorim needs to realise that you are not a Glazer bitch. You are not a Glazer bitch. And Ten Hag made this mistake and Ollie made this mistake. If you want to stay at this football club long term with the support of the fans, you need to be with the fans, not with the Glazers. They don't want to sack you, mate. You don't need to bend over and, take it from the Glazers. You don't need that. You don't. They don't want to sack you because it's going to cost them money. You need to stand up again and start speaking like you did last season. And you need to start hinting again about players that you need in January. Because all I'm seeing from Amorim at the moment is this deflated person who doesn't want to criticise anyone. Doesn't want to criticise his team. Doesn't want to criticise the owners. Doesn't want to criticise anything. He looks lost. Whereas last season he was like, we need this, we need that. These players aren't good enough. Have you noticed Amorim this season doesn't do that anymore? He doesn't criticise players. He doesn't criticise the owners. He doesn't talk about we need this in January. He's become a shadow of his former self because he's basically become the guy that in the summer has been told to shut up and get on with it, when actually your reputation is on the line, mate. Like, why would you shut up? If they sack you, they've got to pay you. They don't want to pay you. So why are you towing the line? You need to be a little bit more in your interviews about, I need more players. Some of these players aren't delivering for me. I need more players. There's clear holes in the team. We need to hear those things instead of just going, we're going to suffer. We're going to suffer. I told you we're going to suffer. I've told you this. I've told you that. No, but what's the vision? What is the vision? Because we don't know what the vision is. And in relation to Mainoo, he's clearly not part of your vision. Mainoo wants to leave. Amorim wants him to go, but he needs a replacement. So that triangle is quite easy. Mainoo wants to go. Amorim wants him to go, but he needs a replacement. Easy. If I'm in charge, there's your replacement. Mainoo goes on loan. Everybody's happy. So that triangle can be resolved really quickly, and everybody wants it. Amorim wants a replacement. Mainoo wants to go. Everybody gets what they want. Really easy transaction because there's loads of people who want Mainoo, and there's probably quite a few options in January we could bring in as a replacement, whether it be a loan or whatever. So maybe, Amorim's a victim himself because that, to me, looks logical. I think Amorim doesn't rate Mainoo. Mainoo wants to go, so you do that deal. But then again, we go beyond that to the real crux of the problem, which is the owners going, we can't get anyone in January. Yeah, we can't get anyone in January, so you'll have to stay and you'll have to keep him until the summer. It's only the summer. Everybody does panic deals in January, and I think that might be the case. I think Amorim probably would let him go on January the 1st. And obviously Mainoo would like to go on January the 1st, but he needs a replacement. And the club are going, we can't do it. And again, we come back to this situation where this is not Man United. You can't treat Mainoo like that. You can't not back Amorim, and you can't keep a toxic situation running for another 5 months when we need European football. But I can't guarantee it, but I would be very, very strongly inclined to believe that that is the situation, that actually it's the owners going, well, we can't get you a player in January, so we'll have to keep Mainoo, which is a disgusting way to run the football club. But that's what I mean about Amorim. This season, he's turned full circle like Ten Hag did. He should be sat there going, look, you know what? There will be opportunities in January, but it's about me getting what I want as well. If a player wants to go, I need to be given a replacement. He can say that. He spoke about this in fucking March. He spoke about it in April. He spoke about the need to bring players in and move players out. I think Amorim needs to start looking after himself. If I was Amorim's agent, I'd be like, you're towing the party line too much, and nobody likes the party line. As a manager at Man United, the managers that do well are the managers that, play the game in between. Rangnick was very good at it. Amorim was brilliant at it last year. I mean, Amorim's results last year were abysmal. Abysmal. But what kept him afloat wasn't just the Europa League results. It was the way he spoke. He could lose a game badly, but he'd speak afterwards and he'd do a press conference and everyone would go, look, he's fully aware of the problems at this club. But this season, he's not doing it. He's sitting there and he's being asked about Mainoo and he's contradicting himself. He's saying he's a first team player, but then he's not giving him minutes. He's saying that he's Bruno's replacement, but then he's bringing him on for Casemiro. He's wrapping himself up in a situation where if I was his agent, I'd just say this, look, there's the possibility that we're looking to move players out in January, but it can only happen if I get players in return. We, the fans, then get the message. There are certain players he wants to move on, but he needs backing in January. And then when it doesn't happen, we go, well, it's not Amorim's fault. But at the moment, he's silent. He's like, well, no, I'm not saying anything. He needs to start protecting himself, because by doing that, the percentage of fans that back him will go up. And he stopped doing it. And I'll say this again. We as fans know a lot more about this football club and what's needed to be successful than the people who are actually paid to do it. And that's because we follow the club week in, week out, day in, day out, year in, year out. Some of these people just wander in like Wilcox from Southampton or Barada from Man City. And when Wilcox was at Southampton, he wasn't watching the United stand. He wasn't checking United results. He wasn't looking at how the club's run. You know, he wasn't interested. And when Barada was at Man City, he wasn't interested. And when Amorim was at Sporting, he wasn't interested. But that's fine. But when you get the job, it doesn't start on your day one. There's a raft of experience that you could have consumed. And they don't. They don't. We said this about Ten Hag. He didn't even give Rangnick a proper conversation. All the stuff Rangnick could have told him, and he didn't want to know, because I don't want to listen to you because I'm in charge. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Talk to the hand because the face ain't listening. You know, Ten Hag did that to Rangnick, and Rangnick probably had the most information, valuable information that anybody could have had. And Rangnick didn't go to another club either. So if Rangnick and Ten Hag had a conversation, Ten Hag could have also got a bunch of players that Rangnick was trying to get us to get. He could have gone for this player, this player. He didn't want to listen. Because these managers, they come in and they go, I don't care. I don't care. And if Amorim looked at Ten Hag's career at Man United, and it would take him an hour, and what we thought of Ten Hag in his first year, and his interviews, and what we thought about him in year 2, it was like night and day. Year 1, his interviews were really interesting. He was talking about problems, what needed to be done. Year 2, that disappeared, towing the party line. And I don't know whether Solskjaer ever did speak openly. I think he always did toe the party line because he was grateful. But Amorim last season didn't toe the party line, and now he is. And he needs to stop doing that. They don't want to... Mate, you're the most secure manager we've had in a decade. They don't want to sack you, because if they sack you, it makes them look stupid. And they have to pay money. You're in a Amorim needs to wake up and realise he's in such a good situation, and he can be a lot more vocal about things he doesn't like, because he's in such a strong position. He needs to stop protecting those above him and start protecting himself and being honest with the people who can save him. Because when you lose the fans, you're gone. And it just isn't, you know, be honest. I want a player in January. And if you don't get one, at least we know it's not you. At the moment, I sort of look at it and go, is he the one saying don't let Mainoo go? Is he the one saying don't buy a midfielder? Which I don't think he is.